Well, good morning. It's a little sunny here. That bright sun coming through the window. How's your day going today? Well, this is my next project, getting this awning up, this shade. My lighting sucks. Good morning, Angie. How are you today? No, I was doing one with the sun coming up, and then I had when I switched cameras, I got to restart it. How are you today? I know you're going to get crazy cold next week. We are too. We're going to get like 20s and the high of 33 and 34, which is unheard of. But I see up West Branch where I was living, I see they're going to have like a low of -5 and a high +2. That is cold. That same cold front. I was looking at these big, huge air masses coming down from the Arctic. It's crazy the distances they cover. It's going to get you, and it's going to come all the way down here. It's not going to make it to Florida, but there is a deep freeze coming on next week. Way worse than last week. How's work going? Hey, does your sister work at that same place you do? Wait till next week. Yeah, next week's crazy. Does your sister work at the same place you do? A little chilly in here today. I've been keeping Daisy's been staying over here. Harbor's frozen. That's cool, though. Do you have any snowmobiling going up there, Angie? We're getting these crazy frosts. These lights. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, those Elvis impersonators do well. I dated a girl a long time ago in Chicago, and her ex-husband was an Elvis impersonator, and he made great money, like 200 grand a year. Traveled all over. Oh, good for you. Now, is that pretty much a dead town this time of year? And do you ever go up to Mackinac? I'm gonna go feed the vultures here in a little bit. Gotcha. Oh, got you. You know, that place is going to hell. It's getting crazy expensive. They're having big problems with the company that bought the ferry. It's just not. I've been up there a lot. I almost bought a bed and breakfast there. 92. Glad I didn't. I'm afraid I went crazy. And even though those are 99-year leases the states give you on those nice houses, I moved to Florida instead, which financially worked out, but I still look at that place where you work. Do you think the owners make decent money? Oh, gotcha. Oh, good for her. Oh, she regrets it, really. But I mean, isn't it still part of the recovery process? I mean, it takes a while to get back into that. Regrets it, huh? That's too bad. You mean this recent last December? Yeah, there was this good restaurant that was in Athens, Georgia. It's a college town. I used to go there a lot. I haven't been going there so much lately. And there was a place there called Square One. They had like Florida seafood, believe it or not, fresh oysters all the time. And the same people owned it for like, geez, forever. And they sold it. And I didn't start going there until it was sold, but it was good, like oysters and then I was there and got two wedge salads that had wilted lettuce like in a roll. And it just turned me off on the place. It wasn't busy. I mean, how does the cook let that go? How does the waiter see it and still serve it to you? And I just looked them up this morning for the hell that I woke up about 5:30. They're out of business. Less than a year. The new owners. Crazy. Oh, a little over a year ago. Okay. One woman owner. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, no, it's not easy, man, especially nowadays. So is that really an issue in bars when it comes to the finances and that's the bartender's not overpouring? You really have to keep an eye on that? Oh, gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, it's always interesting. My sister was the first single female to own a McDonald's franchise. And I'm always interested in different businesses. I would buy a different business if it was something fun, but I'm not doing, I almost started a tree farm here. And then I was going to do a cut flower farm. Be honest with you, I don't want to deal with the public, which I think you understand. I was a private detective my whole life and did pretty well at that. But I don't really want to do that again either. And I would do something if it was fun only. That's it. I'm not doing something just to make money. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, no employees. Now, down in a market like that, is are employees hard to find? Yeah, I know a lot of, believe me, man, I've been a traveler my whole life. Not like out of the country, although I've been all over Canada and Mexico and all over Alaska. So it just never really interested me going anywhere else, to tell you the truth. Hey, H2O. It never really interested me, to be honest with you. But anyway, I've always liked eating out, going to different things. I always pay attention to good restaurants. And boy, I'll tell you, a lot of the ones that I went to my whole life are out of business. It is hard owning a restaurant. I don't know. It's not my business, but I will tell you this. I think I do know a lot about like restaurants with regard to like what makes it and what doesn't. I'm telling you, man, there is good money in pizzas, in those ovens that cook pizzas like in 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 1 minute. And I know the trick. The trick is grande cheese, Grande. Good morning, Callie. Grande cheese. I've had like three people. Marty asked me if I would open up a smoke house, a restaurant for him. He's always buying new businesses, starting two things. We're both like that. I was like, I don't want to do it, man. I really don't want to get into the restaurant business. I do have smoking down. It's the simplest form of science in the world. I read about it. It took me a whole year to do it right, but it's too time consuming. But pizza and the money, believe it or not, is in gourmet hot dogs. Like a Michigan-based company, Kogel. You boil them, you have a bunch of cool shit to put on them, a decent bun, and that's it. But I do know I could do a good catfish fried fish thing. But you know what? Catfish is getting too expensive. Here's the problem. There's nothing worse now than being a business where you cater to the middle to lower middle class at a steakhouse, Outback, Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse. The wholesale cost of steaks is nuts. So if you notice in steakhouses, if you go to them, those steakhouses aren't that great anyway. You will notice that the only way they're trying to hang in there is by smaller portion, and they're selling it as like low calorie. Yeah, you're paying the same price for a 4-ounce steak now that you used to get one for 12 ounce. Kogels, yeah, those are good hot dogs. Yeah, they're good. Good. I mean, they're as good as it's an oxymoron, right? It's as good as a hot dog can get. But I do think, and there's a place called what is that? The W. Is it the W? One of those famous hotels in Traverse City. This is going to sound ridiculous to you, but they have fries there. An order of fries that costs $22, which is insane, but it's worth it. These are the best fries you've ever eaten in your life. What is the name of that place? Indigo. Indigo. Excellent fries. I just been around enough places to see what sells. But seafood, forget it, man. You could not give me a seafood place. Seafood is so ridiculous. I paid 70. What was I paying? Was it $70? $72, something like that. Yeah, $70 when I was in Lake City last week. And the only reason I did it could have been for I couldn't even tell you the last time I had a lobster tail. And I had two lobster tails and some other bullshit that went with it. It was $70. But I've eaten there. I haven't been by there in about 15 years. And I got it anyway. And it was $100 with a tip almost. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not. But let me tell you guys this. If you guys like pizza, smart places advertise it on their menu or somewhere along the way that you recognize it. I've been to places probably 10 times in my life. And I've asked the waitress, I said, is this grande cheese? It's like, let me ask. They go back to the chef. I've had the chef come out probably 4 times and say, hey, are you the guy that asked if this is grande? It's like, how would you know about that? It's like, cuz, man, I've been like on the road like forever and I know good food and I appreciate grande cheese. And this is why this pizza is so good. It's like, look, grande cheese. They're out of Wisconsin. It's a huge company. They got it down. Now, I'll tell you that Jet's Pizza uses grande cheese, but I don't like the rest of their recipe. Jet's uses grande cheese. But if you've never had a pizza with grande cheese, it matters. It's the difference between aged cheddar and cheddar that you get at Walmart. Just is. Does matter. Grande cheese. I'm going to do karaoke. We're going to be doing karaoke, Angie. We don't want you coming out because you got too good of a voice. I don't think you can buy. I don't think you can buy it at the supermarket. But if you have that on anything that requires mozzarella cheese, whether it's some kind of pasta dish or pizza, it is night and day, and it's expensive. Actually, I had it happen here. I go to Thompson, which is about 22 miles from here. And I had that happen there. I said, is this grande cheese? She went down. The guy came out and said, how do you know about grande cheese? It's like, well, actually, I got turned on to grande cheese around 1993. These pizzas were so damn good down in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. It's like, what kind of cheese is this? Grande. And then from then on, man, I was looking for it. And like Jet's Pizza, they advertise grande cheese. So if you know jack shit about good cheese, it's just and here's another thing too. If you've never had, when I go to Michigan again, if you've never had aged cheddar cheese, good stuff, I will buy you some. I like people to experience good cuisine. I mean, really good shit. And, unless you come from like educated parents, cultured parents, if you grow up like from blue collar, like I did, laborers, factory workers, I worked in a drugstore, you're never exposed to these kind of things. It's craft cheese. And if you don't like it, too bad. But you get out in the world and you run into like people and you have a higher income level and all this good shit comes down the road. Fondue, great bottle of wine. If you've never had a $200 bottle of wine, you need to try it. Night and day. Night and day. If you've never had king salmon from Alaska, you don't want to put anything on it. It's so good. You don't need anything like butter with the lobster tail. Aged cheddar cheese. Personally, I found that once you get after 15 years, it's not worth it. It actually, but up to 15 years, unbelievable. No, pay absolutely great. Absolutely great. If you Callie, do you like cheese? I know where to get this shit too. I do. Oh, Callie, if you like that, if you like good cheese, I mean, I'm not talking about top-notch shit. I can tell you where to go. All my good go-to places are about like I don't like sub sandwiches, but I can tell you two good places that were good that don't look so good anymore. 50 fucking years of great, exceptional subs, and that goddamn COVID wrecked them. Izzy's in Ann Arbor, Michigan. IZZYS. Excellent. Those subs were so goddamn good. I get two of them sometimes. I wouldn't do that now because I'm in shape. And Captain Nemo's, Nemos. Funny, Captain Nemo's. The guy that started the original Captain Nemo's, the one in Romulus, you can look it up, Captain Nemo's, Nemos, had gastric bypass surgery and died. He died getting that damn shit back in the early 80s. Weight loss surgery, he died. Good guy, too. He's from the UK. They've come a long way with that. Medicaid pays for that now. Oh, you were like that, huh, Angie? Oh, no kidding, yeah. And but if you guys like good food and you appreciate good food, I'll get you some. I'll tell you, I know where to get it too. Good. Now, I don't really care for it. You know, it's funny, your taste change as you get older. I loved beef jerky when I was a kid, and I don't like it now. I don't like it. I'll tell you a funny beef jerky story. They had a good beef jerky, not the best, in a place in Standish, Michigan. Went in there and bought a pound for some friends, stopped to get gas. Daisy ate the whole pound. Ate the whole pound of beef jerky. Thought it was treats. It's my fault for leaving it out there. But good cheese and let me think about that. Good pizza, good subs, man. Those places are iffy now. That place used to be so good. They always had the cutest girls working there. Just they look like cheerleaders, and they're always sweet, and they're always working their ass off. And now it's like, shit, man. World has changed so much. I bought some pizzas for the homeless. I normally don't say this, but I will because it's in the context of talking about food. When I was down in Kissimmee, I bought those homeless people some pizzas. There were homeless people everywhere. Like I said, I just give them shit now and don't record it. I mean, big fucking deal. What are you supposed to have, a parade for me? I've been lucky in life. That's it, man. It wasn't hard work, none of that bullshit. It was luck mainly. And they were not lucky. Oh, no kidding, Kelly. No kidding, huh? Wow. This fucking sun's coming in, man. Really? My dad was a real cheap bastard. Never spent any money on anything. Parents were really dirty. It's like embarrassed to bring people over my house. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. I didn't really care for my parents, to be honest with you. I thought, how in the fuck did I get born to these people? And I know it was a damn accident. Sister was a shotgun wedding. 2 stillborns. I'll bet you money it was drug or alcohol. And then my damn ass made it. And I was an RH negative baby. Barely made it myself. God damn lucky. Good morning, Sandra. I didn't even go to my dad's funeral. I could have gave a shit. My mom died in 82 and I don't miss her at all. It's probably why I'm fucking nuts. I mean, if there's anything to that rubbing babies and shit like that and bonding, man, this explains my behavior. Yeah, it does. If it's connected like that. Shit, I bet I was stuck in a goddamn bassinet for 20 hours at a time. No shit. All right, it's a blood disorder, and if you don't have a complete transfusion, which was new, you'll die. RH negative factor. Now they give injections for it. It's easier. My sister always said I had black people's blood. I didn't talk to her either for 8 years before she died. That was the first single female to own a McDonald's franchise. And this genetic thing is real. You'll have fucked up parents and they do stupid shit. The only thing I skipped was smoking and alcohol. But I'm probably just as nuts. If you have parents that are like just not stable and crazy, you're going to be that way too. You're going to date somehow, some way, after all that time went by, you're going to date the same kind of women your dad did. You're going to marry the same kind of women like your mother, no matter how hard you try. At the time, it doesn't seem like that, but you look back and you reflect, it's like, God damn it. And the ones that have been better for you, you wouldn't have touched with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, no, the sun blew it all. Hey, so get this. If you never heard this before, sister, she marries a guy, right? She didn't turn lesbian later, but she lived with lesbians. It's like people say, is your sister a lesbian? I'd say, yeah. You know why? Because it's going to seem like I'm the most naive, stupid guy in the world that didn't want a lesbian as a sister. Not true. She was asexual, hated men, but didn't have sex with lesbians. I know the lesbians that lived with her. They said if they'd ate her out once in a while, they just stayed. Wasn't like that. Looked like a lesbian, but wasn't one. Just, hated men. But anyway, so she gets married back then. A lot of lesbians got married back then. The 60s. ends up having a baby. My nephew, who's only 6 years younger than I am. Now, I just turned 69. And he's just a little baby, like 3 months old. And his buddy was over. They're fucking around with guns. The gun goes off and hits him right in the heart. It was a 22 short bullet. As a matter of fact, I know the cop, Charlie Sanders, who's dead now. Great guy. Went on the call. He said he'll never forget it. He rolled him over, and there was just one little speck of blood on a white T-shirt. He died right there. My sister, he said he'll never forget how much he screamed. Well, of course, you don't know shit. You don't know you're going to live with lesbians yet. You got this kid. You're scared. You're not working. There goes your income. You know, all the things associated with the tragedy. It was a big deal. It was on the front of the National Enquirer, as a matter of fact. And the article read, "Quick draw goes south," like they were doing like the Wild West. And everybody was pissed. But back then you didn't sue. And even now you got to show damages. I'm not sure a lawsuit would have worked. And he died. And she ended up going to work at the telephone company and taking college classes. Finally quit the telephone company. Ended up getting a degree in psychology at Eastern Michigan University at the age of like 30 or something like that. Went back to the telephone company, got a management job. And at the time, McDonald's had been sued for not having enough blacks and single females that own franchises. It's like you guys are discriminating. So McDonald's was actively looking for people that they felt had all the criteria to run a McDonald's and to own one, but they didn't have the money. So they set up these like shell financed agreements and pursued people. And through some kind of venue, they found her. Lined up financing. She got her first store in West Branch, Michigan, in 1978. At the time, McDonald's was still had good locations. Those have been long gone. There are no good locations left. And she was having $1,000 hours from day one when she opened. Lines out the door, all that kind of shit. Now, McDonald's later got smart and did more analysis in giving good high volume stores, keeping them themselves, as opposed to giving them to franchisees. Anyway, that was her first one. Opened a second one in Pinconning, a third one in Eau Gray, 2 in Houghton Lake. And for a time, she had like 6. Ended up selling. The Houghton Lakes really never made a money. Eau Gray never made a dime in 20 years. But the Pinconning and the West Branch just killed it. They were like in the top 5% of the stores in Michigan. She was making almost $500,000 a year in 1981 for herself. This wasn't the gross of the business. As my nephew ages, he turns into a spoiled brat, doesn't work, always wrecking new vehicles. You know, just a typical example of spoiled. Now, that's a whole nother argument. How do you raise your kids? And he ends up growing up a life where he had no responsibility. He didn't get married till he was like 33. He marries this big, stupid, fake-titted, dumb bank teller that ended up winning Miss Michigan. Her name's Lynette Korbinski. You can look her up. Korbinski, Mrs. Michigan, and was just a total gold digging fucking bitch. And they're fucking crazy, and nobody's working, and there's a crazy, excessive amount of money all around. So she's a chronic shopaholic. They end up having 9 fucking kids that they never send to school. And all the kids do is stay up all night and play games and fuck around and drink Red Bull. And they're all dumber than a box of rocks and don't study. And because it looks like this money's never going to run out, and these kids aren't doing shit. None of them are doing anything. But it's okay because there's bunches of money. They go down to Atlantis in Bahamas and drop 15 grand a week, no problem. I remember one time, this was early on with the internet, the one kid ran up an internet bill of 7 grand. So they're down there and all this money's going. Well, my sister, being an enabling, terrible parent, McDonald's, you have a licensing agreement. And she was the only one on the licensing agreement. And she felt, well, she was getting older. She just died here 2 years ago this June. She would put him on the license agreement. And that way, if something ever happened to her, McDonald's could be weird. And I'm sure knowing him by that time, the last thing McDonald's wanted to do was to have him running those stores. Everybody knew what a lazy son of a bitch he was. So she gets him on the license. So all of a sudden, they're spending more money than ever. And he starts bouncing checks in the Pinconning store. And eventually, McDonald's ended up sending about 9 lawyers out at once to interview people because they want to make sure they do their due diligence. And, it was almost impossible. McDonald's are 20-year leases. They're 20-year leases, and they renew them. And if you don't get renewed, you're screwed. But you got to do something really crazy to not get renewed. And well, as it turns out, not getting renewed is bouncing checks. As it turns out, that's a crime. They come in there and they want to cover all their bases because this is a single female that owns these. So McDonald's decides to tell her, we are not giving you a 20-year rewrite. We are not renewing your leases. So you can either sell them now and get what you can, because we're taking them away in a year. We're not renewing it. And that's exactly what they did. Now, the money they sold him for was good. At the time, McDonald's was a little down, but the kid had racked up so much debt that there wasn't hardly any money left after the sale. She's on Social Security. The money tree gets cut off. After about 2.5 years, he scammed some farmer out of a loan of about $400,000, blew all the money, and they lived in a high-end neighborhood down in Plantation, Florida. And they were trying to get one of these trampoline franchises. And that never worked. They go through all that money. Finally, they come back to Michigan, and they're out of money. And, of course, this gold-digging bimbo stupid wife, she's a bitch and a half, too. She decides to divorce him because the money tree got cut off. She divorces him, gets a couple restraining orders, has him arrested at a football game, because of bullshit probably. She's very conniving, convincing. He has to get a job, so he starts driving truck. Here's a guy that had 5 McDonald's, never went to work, and was making about $500,000 a year. He didn't have to do anything. All the kids are a mess. The whole house of cards collapses. He's driving truck. There's no money left, and now we're going to like the 5th year since McDonald's took these back. Long story short, my sister ended up dying in a convalescent center. Like I said, it'll be 2 years ago this June, with her house in foreclosure. That fucking son of hers had ruined her life. Now, he'll tell you, what are you talking about, ruined her life? I asked for money and she gave it to me, which is true. He didn't steal it. But there was a golden nugget out there that he ruined for everybody. There's been big custody issues. He's broke. I still keep in touch with people up there. He can't even afford to get his car fixed. And this stupid Ben Bo is like, coughing that ass up to whoever's interested. And she's had a couple takers. Now she'll find another guy that's willing to support her lunatic ass until the money train runs out. And I don't know if this is true or not. I'm going to check when I'm back in Michigan. But it's my understanding that she was caught shoplifting in the Walmarts up around the area, and she was trespassed, which means you can't go in there again. I don't know if that's true or not. But here you go, sad story. Sister comes out, ends up making a bunch of money, and the whole house of cards collapses. They all end up broke, and he's driving a truck, and he's on the road all the time. I know the guy that runs the big boys across the McDonald's in West Branch. The last I knew, he couldn't afford a hotel to come up there. And around Christmas, the guy felt sorry for him because he knew him during the good days. And he actually let him and some of the kids go in the back part of the big boy and set up the TV screen. This is a restaurant, a big boy, so they could watch movies. Nuts. It's crazy. Yeah. Isn't that nuts? Karma, that's exactly it. Yeah. Key to looking young, who knows? I don't look young. Yeah. And I haven't talked to him in a long time either, which is fine with me. I'm sure if I ran in, now I did talk to one of the kids a little bit afterwards, And the kids are all now. Here's the kicker. You ready for this? This is going to sound like bullshit. None of the kids are high school graduates. They struggle to like read and do basic tasks. The one girl always seems smart, but you never know. I mean, seeming smart and being smart are different. As it turns out, she ends up getting a GED on her own, working a couple jobs, going to Saginaw Valley College down the road, getting a degree in biology. You ready for this? You're not going to believe this shit. This last September, she started medical school at Michigan State University. 1 out of 9 looks like they're going to make something of themselves. Now, I read her bio that was in the school newspaper, which is a crock of fucking bullshit. She said that her mother had depression and her dad had health problems. Yeah, the dad did have esophageal cancer or some kind of cancer of the tongue for a while that was radiated and it went away. And the mother was depressed, but that's only because she couldn't blow fucking $5,000 a week on a bunch of shit that was already in the closet that she never opened. So that story is bullshit. But nevertheless, I give this girl, 10 out of a scale of 10 of pulling this shit off. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. She's a total bitch, just like the mother, or at least she was. But to actually come from that clusterfuck and go to medical school is, I that's one of my top 10 stories. Unbelievable. She ought to write a book. Hey, Lucid, I'd read it. No, he's a fucking shitbag, man. That's why. Yeah, I'll tell you, if they ran into me up there, if he saw me, he would not make eye contact with me, and he would just go down a different aisle. And so would she. Yeah, that's why. Just a total shitbag, man. Spoiled brat. Yeah, he's driving a truck now on the road all the time. You know, truck drivers don't make that much money anymore. 5 McDonald's, had it made. Wife leaves him. And my sister dies broke with her house in foreclosure. What ended up happening on that is friends of hers that owned McDonald's. You know, these people had shit tons of money. If you had a McDonald's in the 70s or 80s, you had a lot of money. I mean, and a lot of these people are fucking stupid, man. It isn't smart business owner operators. I went to McDonald's World Convention about 8 years ago down in Orlando, Florida, at that big, huge convention center. And they had a private, I went to a private party, and Sting and that fucker, that Maroon 5 private party, Sting and Maroon 5 guys sang to the owner operator, shit like that. I mean, top notch, everything crazy expensive. And sitting around the owner operators of the United States McDonald's, a lot of them just seem like white trash with money. I'm not shitting you, just ignorant motherfuckers wiping their mouth with a tablecloth and telling filthy jokes in front of people's wives. You're thinking to yourself, how did these clowns? I'll tell you why. Because it was legacy ownership. If your grandparents owned them, then you owned them. Well, McDonald's changed all that shit. And if they needed any better example than my nephew, I don't know where. Now you have to prove yourself in a different way, because these second generation people, like in lots of restaurants, don't do shit. They're just like he is. Losers. But you would have been surprised. These people were just like blue-collar factory workers that got lucky and had a shit ton of money. So one of these people that she was friends with, they paid cash for her house as it was in foreclosure, allowed like 5 or 6 of these deadbeat kids to live in it for 6 months, and then sold it. But it was nice for a friend to come through like that, but it was also unnecessary. I mean, they knew the whole story, but they were helping my sister. Oh, yeah. Crazy. Yeah, you never know. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? But they were fuckers, man. They'd go to like restaurant. They get kicked out of like 5-star resorts just because the kids would be up at 5 a.m. throwing fucking eggs in the hall. Just no discipline, mouthy, stupid. entitled. They were asked, there was all sorts of places. If you bought those brats in a restaurant, they'd tell you to never come back. No shit. I drove a trailer down one time for them down around Fort Lauderdale someplace. And it was some high-end place on the beach that they were staying. And they canceled their reservation. And I'll bet you money, they act like it was a big mistake and a credit card number. I'll bet you money it had something to do with them staying there before and somebody remembered them. I mean, these kids were savages, man. No shit. I mean, they had no respect for anything. And none of them really have any social media. It's got to be like the most embarrassing thing in the world to be them from up around that area. They went from having it made to nothing. And then you got the one girl that's in medical school. And then these other kids, God knows what they're doing. Who knows? And like I said, no social media. And I know people that still live there. I keep in touch with people up there. Nobody ever runs into them. I mean, they got to just be mortified over what happened to them. But that's why. But it's the whole idea. Just I've seen it happen before. I know a guy, believe it or not, I know a family that owns 62 Kentucky Fried Chickens. Just had crazy money, man. These are good locations. Like I said, the good locations of McDonald's have been gone for a long time. If you own a McDonald's in a rural place, it's not a high volume store off an expressway, you basically bought yourself a job. If you own one off an interstate, it's a good stop, you're printing money. Big difference. So if somebody tells you they own a McDonald's franchise, you need to ask where, because that's everything. It's huge. And McDonald's got smart over the years. They would, if you had good stores, they were experts at getting you to build stores that McDonald's gets their fees off the top. So even if you run a shitty operation and your labor's high and you leave the heat on, the windows open in the winter, that's your fucking problem. They get their fees off the gross rent and service fees. So you can own a McDonald's and lose money as an owner operator, but the corporation still makes money. But in her case, she had two ass kickers, Pinconning, Michigan and West Branch, Michigan, that paid the bills for everything. But she had stores that never made a dime. She even had a couple test stores in a Walmart, test store in a Walmart. Didn't do shit, lost her ass. But like I said, there was so much money from those two gold mines that you could do it. And if you know anything about McDonald's and you kind of understand how the thing works, now it's not uncommon to run into people that have locations that don't make a dime. And there's always pissing contests. See, McDonald's, that's a lease. But you can't argue with their success. Burger King's, they own the property and they own the building. So when Burger King comes and they go to the franchisees and they say, hey, we want you to sell a Whopper and a drink for $1, they say, fuck you. Where McDonald's, that now gets voted in by region. That dollar hamburger, they didn't make jack shit on. When you're appeasing stockholders, these corporations in this day and age really know how to squeeze the owner-operator. See, now Chick-fil-A only lets you own one store. And you have to work it. You have to be there. And they're not going to let your kid take it over automatically. So it's interesting how, these corporations have learned by, people like my nephew on what not to do. Now, I still keep in touch with the people that own the McDonald's that she bought. They own 13 of them. And I also keep in touch with the guy that runs the one in West Branch where I lived. And in the old days, you could own one McDonald's in a good location and just make, crazy money, $250 a year, work 20 hours a week. Now you need to own like 13 of them. It's not the gravy train that it used to be. I know a couple years ago, their food cost in the stores that did like $3 million a year, $4 million a year, went up $53,000 right after COVID for meat only. And then, you got the corporation leaning on you for the Happy Meal and all that kind of bullshit. Yeah. It's nuts, man. Yeah, isn't that unbelievable? Yeah, crazy. Yeah. Who knows what kind of doctor she's going to make? Super bitch. At least she used to be. Yeah, just a spoiled fucking brat. But that just goes to show you, and I talk about this all the time, it's gene expression. Same DNA. You got 8 losers. Well, a few of them are too young. We don't know yet. You got 8 losers and 1 doctor. Same everything. And she tells this biggest story on how she rose from, a bad situation, which she did do. But she leaves out the part of her crazy mother, her crazy father, their excessive spending, and eventually fucking up a gold mine. That's not in the bio. Yeah. So, well, good luck to her. I don't wish him any ill will. I also wouldn't do him any fucking favors. I'm right at the 50-yard line with all those motherfuckers. I don't wish him bad, but I wouldn't help him out either. Fuck him. Be no fucking family reunion with me. Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? And they're well known about McDonald's and what those goddamn kids were like. That bitch should go in there and get people fired for not saying hello to her with, look at her big fake-titted, stupid Polak ass. Mrs. Michigan and Lynette Korbinski, Korbinski. Google it. Just a big fucking dumbass. And her fucking family, too. Just a bunch of fucking scammers. Yeah, they know I talk this way about them. Tell them to do something about it. They're not going to do anything. Yeah, just a fucking shitbag fucking family, too. Yeah, but who knows? In these kids, the older ones, which would be like in their early 20s now, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Last I knew, they were working like shit, low-end labor jobs. Like the lowest of the low. I don't even think some of them have a fucking GED. No kidding. Sad, really, but fuck, I don't know. Is it sad or not? Why is it sad? I don't feel sad for them. I say fuck them. Yeah, I go up there, man. I never run into them like. Oh, here's another fucking weird thing too. Now I really do try to tell an accurate story, not embezzle shit and that kind of thing. Let me tell you this. This goes to show you how when somebody likes you and when somebody doesn't like you. And I think my nephew is a fucking dick. And I would be happy to tell him that if I got the opportunity. Let me just give you a perfect example of how when someone doesn't like you. Well, the guy that runs the McDonald's where I lived, he's a good guy. I still keep in touch with him. And this fucking nephew of mine, he's just like a cocky fucking jack off that, thinks he's a ladies' man. He's not. Now that, he got canned by this big fake titted blonde bimbo, I'm sure it's slim pickings for him. Now he has no money. He just bought a dump of a trailer in Prudenville, Michigan. $23,000. It's a fucking dump. I mean, it looks like a hunting cabin. That's where he lives now. He just bought it. So he's going in McDonald's, and this fucking egomaniac is flirting with the girls at the counter. Now, this is the McDonald's he used to own that he doesn't own any longer. And it finally gets to the point where it's pissing fucking people off. So what happens one day, now, do I think this goddamn guy, I don't like him, but do I think he's a sexual harasser pervert? I don't. I think he's a fucking jack-off. But the point here of my story is that when you're not liked, people tend to look for reasons to fuck you. So here's my example. So he's going into this McDonald's. Everybody dreads when they see him. He was a fucking jack-off to work for. And the girls are handing him his change, and he's like holding their hand and like being flirtatious. And he's not a very good-looking guy. He just, and one of them complained, and one of them said, hey, this fucking weirdo comes in here, I give him his change, and he's like rubbing my fucking hand, and it gives me the creeps. Well, that's all they fucking needed. Because now imagine this, you own these McDonald's for like 40 fucking years. Everybody knows you. You own the nicest house around, all that kind of shit. And when that came to the people that didn't like him, you know what they did? They banned him from the store. And when you get trespassed in a business, the way that works is the cops get a hold of you and they say, hey, the owner doesn't want you there anymore. And if you go in there again, you're going to get arrested for trespassing. He got banned from the store he used to own for some bullshit like that. and can't go there anymore. I mean, is there a higher level of embarrassment? You get kicked out of your own McDonald's. I mean, this story never fucking ends. It's one crazy saga after another. You know? Yeah, isn't that nuts? And I still keep in touch with people up there. I don't know of anybody that runs into them. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't really care, and I'll probably never see them again to the day I die, which I'm fine with. So, the reason why I went up there was to keep that from happening originally. And I was sick of Chicago and I had a non-compete uh, in Michigan. So it didn't make sense for me to live there until about then. And I went up there and I did. I mean, I don't want to tell you what I did for them, but if you talk to anybody up there that knows the deal, I was a good guy to them. And once I quit talking to her, it was like 8 years before I left, which was 3 years ago. That was a good place to live. I liked it. But, honestly, I was bored. And really the cherry on the top was that there was no more winter anymore, with this seasonal, no snow and all that kind of shit. I just, I would have never left on my own without an opportunity down here. Getting older, moving's a fucking pain in the ass. It was okay, but, I just figured I was going to die up there in West Branch. And I had one good friend actually, two good friends, the guy that runs the McDonald's and Ted. And this guy pitched me on, I lived down here before and I didn't like it. So here I am. But so you just never know. It was someplace new places to photograph and that kind of shit. So it ended up working out for me. Now, I always say, I was talking to a guy yesterday and, I make references. It's probably going to be tits up for me here. Yeah, I think it probably is. But I've thought that everywhere I moved. I never thought I'd leave Florida. I never thought I'd leave Chicago. I never thought I'd move back to Michigan. I never thought I'd be in Georgia again. But time is running out. I'm not getting younger. I hope, if I had a choice in this, I hope it's tits up for me here. I don't want to move again. I don't want to I don't. I like, and you know what I noticed? Now I will admit this was hard to get used to. I love it now, but I didn't love it at the beginning. You're very isolated out here. You really are. I don't see anybody, nothing. It's just as quiet. And I love it now. And I really don't think, when I went down and took that van down to that auction last week in Florida, I thought, man, I can't stand all these people around. And laying in my hotel bed, hearing sirens and people talking, it's I was like a little bit anxiety ridden. Here I hear nothing. Once in a while, an airplane that's heavy going to Europe or heading south because he's at 25,000 feet with a lot of power and climbing, which I like. I love airplanes. I still have an interest in aviation. And other than that, man, I am out here on my own. And I had this same thing happen when I moved to Florida, just like this. Now it's fucking New York City. Pave the roads, gourmet restaurants. So I do not want that. And as crazy as it sounds, I want to live. Good morning. I want to live in a area like I live in. Just like I have a county that's broke. It's the third from the brokest county in the state of Georgia. And I like that. It's not because I feel better about people or better than them or any of that shit. I'm still thinking of putting up a laundromat for these people just because this place has been good for me. And you know why I don't? It's because I don't want to drive by the fucking thing and see it look like a dump a year from now. No good deed goes unpunished. It sounds like a great idea, but there's an argument as to why these places are the way they are. Stuff's not taken care of. Hey, Janine, how you doing? Yeah, Janine's my neighbor. She lives right down the road, about 25 miles. But it's a lot of getting used to. Now, I'm like a loner guy, and this works. This works for me. So, is it going to keep working? I don't know. You never know what's around the corner. You know what I mean? I have it set up now to where, if I died tomorrow, it's like, fuck, I don't care what you do with it. Get a dumpster. Up to you. I got it all straightened out. Yeah, I do. Only thing I don't have straightened out is, yeah, it is peaceful. Janine, she lives like not that far from me. She's from New Jersey. Yeah. So I don't even have a car for this week, which this sounds insane. My truck is in Hilton Head. I took Marty's wife over there. She left early. I didn't want to go back to Hilton Head. I didn't want a car for a week. I get a lot done. I just read my books. I fuck around on here and talk to you guys. Here's another thing too, honestly. And I don't know, Janine, if you think this way as well, but I think if it wasn't for the internet access, I don't know that I'd be this comfortable here. I have uh, a chance to the outside world, and it's on my terms. I can always turn off my computer. And if I couldn't do these chats, it's so weird because I tell people all the time, you're never going to run into me with somebody, a date, a friend, nothing. Even Marty and I, we're best friends. And you rarely see us together. Never. We were just discussing the other day and we both agreed that nothing is as good as being alone. He's a great guy. It's almost like being alone when I'm with him and he thinks the same thing about me. But being alone takes the cake. It still edges out us hanging around together in the same way. Is that 735 miles? Oh, okay. Yeah, people think that I used to be social, but I've always kind of been this way, little bits here and there. I go down and I cook a brisket for the gas station clerk, and I go to the Starbucks and joke about paying $10 for a coffee, and I get a grande cheese pizza at the Fernando's in Thompson. And that's it. I go to the feed store, and they always say, it's a joke at the feed store. Would you like us to help you load these bags? I buy about 800 pounds worth of shit, 50-pound bags. And I always laugh and said, no, you need help, not me. I said, I might in a year from now, but I don't need it now. It's always kind of a standing joke because that's part of their deal. All these employees at these stores now, they're scared to death of being shopped and getting a bad report. And even though I've been in there a million times, they don't want to take the chance of not asking me a question that I know that I don't like. Do I need help? It's like, do I look like I need help? No. It's just kind of a joke, So when I get this kind of socialization like this, or like I just described you, that's it for me. Once in a while, I'll say, I got $100 Christmas bonus for the mail lady. I haven't run into her. And I tell her, look, here's $100. I don't want to hear a word about it. I don't want extra services, nothing. This is for the bullshit you put up with every day. That's it. I don't want they don't need to drop the thing off closer to my door or any of that shit. But another thing I don't want to do is I don't really want, I've told people this too. I don't want them stopping by. I don't want people dropping in. I go to all the festivals here, Rattlesnake Festival, Onion Festival. I bought bags of onions for the neighbors, and it gave me an excuse to stop by their house. Said, hey, look, I was at the Valdalia Onion Festival, and here's some onions. This is my appreciation for you never stopping by and visiting. And they laugh, but they know what the hell I'm talking about. And it's the truth. You got an emergency. You need a ride to the hospital. You need your cattle fed or your fucking pet pigeon bowl of water. Be glad to do it. No problem. If there's something I can fix that you can't afford, be glad to do it. But I do not want to turn this into every day, every week dialogue. I don't want people stopping by. I don't stop by your house. If it's not something crazy, if I see suspicious shit, but other than that, no. I want to just be alone out here. Marty tells everybody he is not social. I'm not going to be a jerk. Now, if you just happen to come over and you don't know any better, but I'm going to get the point across. I don't want visitors, except people that I know that are coming. And if you come over here at nighttime, you'd have to be insane to drive back on my driveway. You'd have to be nuts. You have to be crazy. All sorts of crazy signs. It looks like the Unabomber would live here. You know? Oh, starving artist. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I think I have a great setup. I really do. I mean, I do. I mean, things can always be better, but things could always be worse too. And like that's, believe me, I am lucky. I'm one lucky son of a bitch. I really am. I have just gotten lucky. I am a lazy son of a bitch. Never really worked that hard. Just had a couple good bites at the apple. And like I said, I caught the tail end of the good old days. It had nothing to do with hard work. It didn't really even have anything to do with great money management. I just had a couple of things that went crazy that nobody else wanted that my dumbass bought, and like the Florida place, although that's up in the air. And I killed it as a PI, and I didn't even fucking work hard then. I was always out flying my planes and shit. Marty's the same way. Marty is not a hard worker. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's luck. He's down buying fucking Porsches and Lamborghinis and shit right now. He's not at fucking work. And all these guys that afford this kind of shit, and what I do have now that I didn't have before was financing that I don't need to go through banks. I don't need to fill out anything. If I needed $5 million tomorrow morning, I could get it. I could get a check written to me. It's just, I don't really want to piss away my remaining years with fucking employees and jobs and shit. I really don't. There's all sorts of shit that I could do. Why? For what? To fucking lose it all? I don't want to sell peaches or own some fucking store and deal with the public. I would be arrested for murder. So I'm really kind of always on the fence. If something presented itself right, I would do it. I like driving, right? I thought of getting a brand new F-350 and dually and just towing shit across the country. But I don't want to be, if I can't drive there, drop a trailer and fuck off for a week, I don't want to do it. And all these driving jobs, I like driving. They don't pay anything. They don't. I mean, $15 an hour, which is better. It's $1, when you are driving. But I'm telling you, driving wears your ass out. I like doing it for free. I do it for friends and stuff, but it wears your ass out. It does. I mean, as much as I try to eat right and get good sleep and all that bullshit and don't drink and stay off the sugar. Like when I drove to Kissimmee, although I did leave in a blizzard, which is rare for Georgia, I'm tired for a couple of days after I get back, fucking around the airplane and the airport, getting down there and finding a place to stay. I'm not complaining about it. I'd do it again tomorrow if I had the opportunity, but that shit tires your ass out, which is why in the last few months, I've really made an effort to get in good shape because honestly, getting older, you're just so damn out of shape, you don't feel like doing anything. And I thought, well, maybe if I got in shape, I could do more stuff. And that's exactly what happened. So if you're older and you don't think you have any energy, I'll tell you why you don't have any energy, because you're just not going to be in a little bit of shape without doing anything. You're not. It's just not. It's fucking way it goes. That's why you see, just sit out in the parking lot in front of a Cracker Barrel and see all the people my age that come out of there. They're too fucking out of shape to do anything. They get winded tying their shoes. 5 minutes of cutting the grass, they're tired, so they hire it done. And I didn't want to be like that. You know what I mean? So I found that getting in better shape has allowed me to be happier because you feel you can get things done. I'll bet you money. It seems like you're just sitting on your ass driving. Well, how would that make you tired? Well, it does. I don't know why. I don't know why it does, but it does. And because I'm in better shape, I wasn't as tired. I came back from my a day and a half Florida trip and worked out like a madman, weights and walked 6.2 miles. There's no way in hell I could have done that a year ago. And I'll tell you, being older, I still notice like lifting heavy weights that it's not the same as when I was younger. It's like, yeah, no shit. No, but I'm talking about I watch myself because I don't want to tear a rotator cuff or a pec muscle or a bicep muscle or any of that shit. But I watch myself because I know that I don't want to hurt myself trying to get in shape. And there's times when my goal is to struggle with the last rep of the last set. And I do 4 sets. And there's sometimes after I get done doing that, I'll like be so damn tired. And it doesn't seem like it when I'm doing it. Come back, fall right asleep for an hour. I would have never done that younger, but it's being older. Whatever signal my brain's getting from these muscles getting this workout is so much different now than it used to be. And if I overlift, which seems like a pussy workout compared to when I was younger, it's nothing to be tired for a couple of days. You don't feel like doing anything. I overexerted myself. I don't know whether it's my cardiovascular system or my nervous system, my muscles sending too many signals to my brain. And I'm not saying it's hard, but there's sometimes when I get done doing my workouts, man, I just don't even want to like turn on a computer. It's weird. Goddamn old ass is like dying out. You know what I mean? Yeah. But getting in shape will make you, if you, and even, I used to think walking, what I think? Honestly, I think it's all cortisol levels and how it regulates serotonin. I really do. I think it's cortisol levels. That's the trick, which you'll have a hard time supplementing and getting the same as you would as if you worked out. It's endorphins. Like this is what I know. If you do a good workout, you should feel energized, not tired like I do. So I know I overexert myself, but it's getting less and less and less. And now I can do like a full workout and come home and stack, 300 books. And this stacking these books is a bitch, man. You're going straight up and down scaffolding, sorting them. And I'm not complaining, but it's taken me a while. And I also hate doing it. So, I'm kind of burning the candle at both ends. I hate doing it. But actually, my waist now is an inch smaller than it was as a senior in high school, and I weigh 100 pounds more. Well, no, I don't weigh 100 pounds more. How much do I weigh more? I weigh 60 pounds more. 60 pounds more, and my shirt size is 4 times bigger. So I am getting in shape. And I always kind of did this, and it's not like I never worked out, so it is really coming back. And I drink, I take creatine and protein powder, whey powder, that's it. And then I eat, a restricted diet. Yeah, I eat like goldfish and shit. I quit buying those. I don't know what they put in those. Something that makes you just eat a zillion of them. I will too. Like my cheat thing is some Boston baked beans or a can of peanuts. It's not like ice cream sundaes and stuff like that. And once you get on a roll and you really notice results, only time I get on a scale is at the doctor's office. I can tell by the way my clothes fit. Yeah. Start out light. That's my idea to you. Start out light. Yeah, I think it is. I think you're exactly right about that. Rogue. Yep. Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, it's inner. I wouldn't say it's like inner. I've been through the same shit you've been through. I mean, I've been married, divorced, good jobs, had money, didn't have money, depressed. Just, I mean, it hasn't. I'm lucky to be here. Believe me, I'm appreciative of it. I thank the power of Johnny Holmes and Linda Lovelace. Of course, I'm not religious. I'm going to go down smoking now. If the religious people are right, I'm in big trouble. And that's a possibility. It is a possibility. But just all the reading I've done, I don't bash people that do it. I do. I'll be honest with you. I don't like people coming on and like pushing this Jesus thing all the time. I mean, I wouldn't come on to their Jesus channel and talk about porn. Like I don't know anything and this is the absolute truth. It's just like insulting. It's rude, I think. So I can them too. I think it's like a big, huge, higher plane of who knows what. I don't know what it is. I do know I'm going to get a sunshade though. I think the world is so like complex. I also think it's like so like crazy, man. Here I go out. I'll feed these birds when I'm done doing this. Going to take seed to some and chicken legs to others. Talk about evolution, huh? Just bugs. I find everything like fascinating. Bugs, birds, fish, all that shit, man. Flowers, the sky. Just think about these things. Nuts. Yeah. So I hope things keep going good. I still got a little stomach problem, not a lot. I don't think it's acid related. I had an upper GI, so I don't think I have stomach cancer. Like right at the top. I've tried the antacids, the backing off coffee, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's nowhere near like it used to be. Uh, I've been thinking about quitting coffee just for a month, but God, I hate doing that. I enjoy a good coffee, like this one right here. Oh, and I joined a couple dating services too. I really did. Here's another thing too. I think that sometimes I think I might not be in touch with my own I'm biased, right? You're subjective. Maybe I am lonely. I don't think I am, but maybe I could be. I could be lonely. I don't think I'm lonely, but anyway, I joined a couple dating things. I joined a couple of few, out here. I mean, my chance of running into somebody is like zero. So I joined a couple about a month ago, and they were just seemed like total scams. So I quit those, and then I joined a couple of other ones, and they seem better, but they seem kind of like half a scam. Like they send you these winks, and they're interested in you. Are you interested in them? I mean, I think I could pick a profile picture of a donut up and I would get this like so and so thinks you're cute. And I just uploaded a picture of a glazed donut, that kind of thing. So I think it's bullshit. But my thinking is maybe there's somebody out there just kind of like me, only the female version. Oh, fuck, I don't know. But I got nothing to lose. Really, but it's kind of fun. I find myself though not even like opening the things I get from these supposed women. And how do you describe yourself without seeming like a total egomaniac? What do I say? It's like, what are your hobbies? Like, well, I quit porn and I feed vultures in the morning. And I fuck around on YouTube. Here's another thing I was thinking about too. And I want your honest opinion on this. I want you to type it in this thing when I could see through this glare. I'm thinking of not ever mentioning, that 95% of the people I know don't even know I have a YouTube channel. I don't tell them. I don't think it's a good idea on a dating thing to tell people I have a YouTube channel. Because if it doesn't work out, they're going to go on there fucking with me and, like all the other stalkers do. Well, do you guys think it's a good idea not telling anybody? I've tried all that shit, John. Yeah. It's hard to see with this goddamn glare. Yeah, I don't think it's hot, Mills. Yeah, I think you're right, Rogue. If you read between the lines. Oh, thank you, Prisky. If you read between the lines, I think that I don't have really any expectations. I guess I do, or you wouldn't join them. But I got an idea of these dating sites that, it's kind of like winning the big prize in a scratch off. I think the odds are pretty shitty. And they're always getting, if you look at like Better Business reports, now I don't know whether that's just a bunch of perverts disgruntled because they didn't screw any girls. You never know. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd place my money on their big scam. That there are people out there that this is everything to them. They really want to get hooked up and involved. And if they don't, they think the dating site's a scam. They don't think it has anything to do with their profile or whatever. I'm not that enthused about it, but I thought I'd give it a try. Probably got a bad attitude going into it. That's what I'm thinking. Fuck, who knows? You know how it is. It's like if you're doing this, if you're in this position, you just don't seem to like run into people. Where am I going to run into them? In the corn aisle at Tractor Supply? All the Starbucks girls are lesbians or transgenders. The older women are all married. I'm not complaining, but I'm just, it's not like hoping your flowers are going to come up. You're like my wildflowers last year. I got seeds, $100 worth, not that big a deal. None of them came up. I was hoping they wouldn't. I got an idea of this dating thing, but yeah, fuck. Who knows? Reality, yeah. Anything but that. I thought about a greenhouse. Yeah, I thought about that. I just don't think I'm into that shit that much, to tell you the truth. I know it sounds like a good idea. You know what I think? I don't know how long my cord is of this fucking thing. I'll tell you what I might do. You see this fucking power cord? Yeah, like this. Take this fucking thing and do it like this. Here, let me take this out, put it back in. Should have thought of this earlier. The sun is brutal. I'm not complaining. It's nice to see the sun. I could be in. Yeah, let me see this. This might be too bright too. This is a little better like this. Yeah, I think this is a little better. Still can't see the screen that good. There we go. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I still have about 1,000 more books to upload. Those are my Bibles and shit, and new books that I got, and those things. I got those. And I still got a million fucking things to do. Is this better? I can read the comments better. That's good. I got books. Now I will admit to you that this books is, what did you find out? Nothing yet. She's got her appointment coming up. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. Who knows? I don't think it's like mange or anything. I don't know what. Probably hormonal. I don't really know. I don't think it's anything to really worry about, but I do wonder about it, And let's see, what else do I have to do? I'll tell you another bullshit. These are 15-foot ceilings in here. And boy, they're not good in the winter. That furnace is going on all the time. I'll read my books. I still read my books. I haven't ordered books in like 2 weeks. I gotta quit. That's a problem, books. No, here's why it's a problem. They say, do you read them all? I try to. I've read most of those. But I order them more than I can read them, and that's not normal. But those books are cheap by and large. I do pay full price for a book here and there, but not very often. I get them all cheap. If you guys are into books, Better World Books out of Mishawaka, Indiana, and there's another place called Thrift on eBay. I get most of those books you see up there, $3, $5, $7. Now you're not going to want to buy a book on Windows 98, right? But certain things like philosophy, grammar, neurology, mine is just like crazy new revelations that really don't affect my life. I'm careful what I buy. I don't want to buy a book on Google that was published 25 years ago. But the other stuff doesn't matter. How much a month to heat the house? Well, one good month, it's 4,200 square feet. 1820 is living space. I've got this room, two bedrooms, two bathrooms, and a laundry room. And then the rest is not unheated. It looks like on a cold month about 200. That's what it's looking like. Now we're going to know this January's been a bitch. We'll see. But as far as these ceiling fans, I've got them everywhere. I found that you can make them blow down in the winter and up in the summer. Now it doesn't mean jack shit. Doesn't matter at all what fucking way. It's blowing the air all over different ways. It's not effective for, what are you going to save a dime? But these 15-foot ceilings this is not the good time of year for me. In the summer, yeah, because the hot air is up high where you want it, and the air conditioned air is down low. But this is not. Luckily, it's a short season. You know, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that this morning. Yeah, it's a big problem. I'm very familiar with that first case. Uh, One was a Native American. I want to say Moss and Dodd, those two pilots that got nailed for getting on an airplane drunk. Moss and Dodd in Detroit, like 25 years ago. I think that's was their name, Moss and Dodd. The Indians said it was an illness and ended up retiring from Northwest. The other guy that was non-Native American said it wasn't an illness. He made a mistake. They were out drinking with flight attendants. He never flew again. So, it's an interesting deal when a pilot gets arrested for a DUI now, and I haven't kept up with the case law, but I can tell you this, anything in aviation that's a violation like that, you're going to have to do so much fucking bullshit to be in the air again. It's ridiculous. But I'll tell you this, there's lots of pilots that flew for years drunk. I was with a guy in a Learjet one time that popped open a six-pack as soon as we took off. Seriously. I mean, believe it or not, I think driving drunk in a car is 1,000 times worse than flying an airplane. If you're not familiar with aviation, you think it's all like you got to be some genius and on your A game. That's false. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You're not running into anybody. You're at altitude. You're using an autopilot. You've got a co-pilot that's afraid to turn you in. I mean, if there was anything to be driving drunk, it's an airplane. It's all basically automated and nobody lets you get too far out of the box. If you get on the wrong way of an expressway drunk, nobody's there next to you to tell you, hey, look, hey, stop. In an airplane, you got 15, the controller, the co-pilot, the flight attendants, people everywhere, other pilots. There's a million ways to not fuck up too bad before you kill somebody. And it isn't like, you're shooting approaches coupled to the autopilot and really it's not I'm not saying it's a good idea. I don't think you should fly drunk, but it isn't like riding a motorcycle drunk at all. It's just not, you know? Or a big ship where you could crush into the dock and that kind of thing. But there were all sorts of examples. You read those stories of fighter pilots during all the wars. They were all high and drunk, especially in Vietnam. Those phantom pilots. Now, did that keep them from dropping bombs and blowing up the enemy? It didn't. So it isn't like what you're thinking that you're drunk and you're high flying a jet aircraft and you're going to land in a subdivision. Not really. Of course, where you would notice being drunk is if you had an emergency. If everything goes all right, that's why you can't really tell what kind of pilot somebody is until they're faced with a crisis. If the airplane's running and the weather's as forecast, not that big a deal. Now you throw in an emergency, a rough run an engine, nav equipment that fails, unforecast weather. Now we're talking. Now's when being drunk is going to catch up to you. You're not thinking right. You're drunk. But when everything goes as planned, and 99.9% of the time it does, you're not going to notice if somebody's drunk or sober in the cockpit. There goes a big old helicopter going by. Yeah, it's crazy. Big old helicopter. I love helicopters. Yeah, that's the way it is. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. What time is it here? 10 o'clock. I'll tell you another thing that's really helped me a lot too. I never thought I would be on this. A better sleep schedule. Again, it's connected to cortisol levels. Connected to cortisol levels. Serotonin. Now I got up twice last night for a little bit, which I shouldn't have. I don't know why that happens. Love to know why. It's not, I quit drinking. This is the only caffeine I drink through the day. Good morning, Mark. How you doing? Hey, how come you didn't stay on Michelle's longer last night? Did you end up doing a live yourself? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up another little desk today to keep from dying of skin cancer while you watch. You partying over there in Canada? That's cool. Pirate Radio. Put a link to your channel. Mark has a good channel. Pirate Radio. Put a link to your channel, Mark. Daisy cuddled up to me last night. She hardly ever does that. Yeah, we had a good time. Had a fun time. A couple hours. Michelle ended up having some problems. Yeah, why didn't you come up on the panel? Should have come up on the panel. Yeah, why didn't you? I mean, she had the link posted. See, the vultures are out here flying low looking for some food. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wonder why you didn't stay long. See, I don't think you can see out the window good enough. The vultures, they'll get real low and fly right by the window. It's crazy, isn't it? Love these vultures. That's cool. Oh, really? Huh. It didn't look like that to me, and nobody said anything. Yeah, I don't know what happened on there. Sorry about that. I thought for sure you'd come up. Huh. Yeah, I think she's doing it from a phone, which is different. I'll tell you, everything's different on a phone. If you guys have PayPal, the phone app sucks for PayPal. It's 1,000 times easier on a laptop or a desktop. It really is. Yep. All right, you have a good day today, Rob. Have a good day. Try to. Yeah, it's not the same, man. Even YouTube, the phone thing is nowhere near as good as a laptop. Not at all. I'm about ready to get a new laptop, actually. I haven't even got a refrigerator and a stove yet. Just haven't felt like fucking with it. They're all such junk, all of them. It's not like you buy a good quality piece of equipment, just plastic junk. Same with washers and dryers, all a bunch of junk. You're lucky to have 6 ounces of water and a giant load now. Doesn't wash stuff for shit. Out here it doesn't matter because you're on a well and who cares how much water you use. Well, that's not what they base making washing machines out of now. They're based on places like California. So you got like 3 ounces of fucking water for a bedspread. Hey Roxy, how you doing? How's it going? It's fucking bullshit. Really, you look in there, there's hardly any fucking water. You put like soap in the thing, the dispenser, you get one of those like Tide things and a little plastic thing. You just look in there. It's like, is the water ever going to hit this soap? Everything's fucked up now. Crazy. Daisy doesn't give a shit here. Daisy said, "Who cares? I'm sleeping." I thought she wanted a double breakfast this morning, and I made her one. She only didn't eat it all. Yeah. No, I did. I did that. I do put hot. Hey, here's something I wanted to tell you too. I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen, but butter, if you get it on a nice shirt, I don't have too many nice shirts. And the only ones I have, Marty gave me. I like used clothes, worn clothes. I don't like worrying about shit. Same with my pickup truck. I haven't washed it once since I've owned it. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not letting this stuff drive me nuts. Clothes, I got rips, tears, stains. I don't give a fuck. But when I do get a nice shirt, because Marty got fatter and he gave me his shirts, I was at that getting that lobster tail dinner and I got some butter on my shirt. Well, butter and like oil from like meat, like when I got that Asian soup at that place in Augusta, if you get a spot of that greasy stuff on clothes, if you don't get it, then you're screwed. So, anyways, it turns out, you know what takes spots out of stuff if you get it early? Dawn soap. Dawn soap. It works. Have a thing of Dawn soap around. That's what they use to wash the oil off the birds when the tanker spills. That it's the enzymes that break down the dirt. That's why you get what you pay for with detergent. Oh, good for you, Mark. Which one did you get, by the way? Yeah, Dawn soap. It's the enzyme. Same with Tide. I've read all the studies. I've tried it myself. I've taken two things and actually done two loads under the same circumstances with the same everything, and Tide is worth it. Now, if you just got bullshit and you just wore it once and there's no stains, you can get away with the cheap shit. But if you've got something where you really want dirt taken out of, get Tide. It pays it. The super duper one with the OxyClean it and all that shit. And if you got a stain, fuck that shout and all that stuff. Use Dawn soap and let it soak. And wash in hot if you can, unless it's something that shrinks. Yeah. Mark, which ones did you get? Which one did you buy? Keep your old one too, in case you want to threaten the president or something. Yeah. Yeah, this is my next thing is to get rid of this glare. I'm gonna be getting new glasses too. So I don't look like Sling Blade in my photos for my dating app. I don't want to look like Sling Blade. You got to upload these profile pictures on your dating thing, and every one of them, it's like, God, I look like a fucking lunatic. I'm never going to get a date. Holy shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. That'll help too. Sure will. Yeah. No, I'd be fucked if I lost. No, if that happened to me, I'd be so fucked. No. Actually, on my pilot's license, part of my medical restriction is that I always have to keep a spare pair of glasses in the cockpit in case like a bird came through and smashed my glasses. Yeah. Fuck. I might as well just nosedive the fucking thing into the biggest open area because there's no way I'm landing a fucking plane without my glasses. Well, it's a requirement. I have to. They catch me if they do a ramp check. Say I go into an airport someplace, they ramp check you. They come up. It's like, "Hi, I'm so and so from the FAA." He shows me his badge. It's like, "I'd like to do an inspection. Make sure you got all the stuff for the airplane. And can I see your pilot's license, please?" It's like, "Sure." It's like, "Yeah, I see here that you have to have a spare pair of corrective lenses. Do you have those with you?" It's like, "Yep." And if you don't, you're in big ass trouble. It's a good rule. I mean, who the hell wants somebody up there that's blind like me and no glasses? They're not protecting me. They're protecting the people below me. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yep. This laptop camera is actually not bad. I'm really looking at cameras, man. I'll tell you, you want to get burned out. Try and look up security cams or webcams. You'll spend the rest of your life trying to figure out which one's good and which one's not. There's thousands of them out there. You'll read some great article on how low light, and it's this and it's that, and not much glare. Then you'll go to buy it, and it's got like a 2.8 rating. There's like 100 people in the last month that left a comment about what a piece of shit it is. Oh, I never heard of that. What is that? Oh, okay. 16G RAM. Oh, good for you. Oh, good for you. Good. Do you notice a difference on your lives? I mean, has it helped you? Yeah, I'm gonna fix this today, so I don't need to do this anymore. This glare is a fucking bitch. You know, we're getting crazy cold weather here next week. The high 34, 20 at night. West Branch, where I'm from, the low -4, the high +2. That's cold. Angie's going to be getting cold too. It's cold. Nuts. Oh, good for you. Yeah, the kind of stuff you're doing, lives, playing music, you don't really need a good computer, to be honest with you. Oh, that's cold. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely I got all my faucets in my outdoor shower. I've got those dripping all the time now. I'm not taking a chance. I'm a fucking nightmare. Split all the pipes. Outdoor shower. Wow, that's cold. Callie, does your husband still work or is he retired too? Oh, the camera's clear. Oh, good for you. Oh, good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I need a new computer. You know that 6K, even 4K flopped. 4K is a fucking nightmare. I don't want 4K. Everybody realized that when you get into 4K, even with YouTube, it's an absolute nightmare. It takes forever to do anything. I don't want 4K. 1080p is fine. I don't want 4K. I tried. There's a setting on the GoPros, 5.7K. That's even worse. Like you'll be there all day fucking around a 10-second clip. Yeah, it is clear, but 95% of people don't have 4K monitors, so you're wasting your time, let alone 5.7K. That's why when you go in and they're playing that tape, that's not a real TV thing. They're playing a 6K movie on a 6K screen, like in Walmart. You're thinking you're going to be watching that shit at home. No, you're not. Unless it's a DVD. You're not. Nobody's transmitting 6K on movies you're going to pay for and rent. Oh, yeah, it's almost like too clear. You know? He left a year ago after my. You mean he doesn't live with you anymore? Hey Clay, how you doing? Now Clay's been over here metal detecting. I'm not going to give his real identity. Oh, you're stuck at home? Come on over here and metal detect before the deep freeze. Oh, he left work. Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah, it makes more sense. Gotcha. Oh, I see what you mean now. Yeah, he left. Yeah, after that. Okay. -8. Yeah, that is cold. Lucid, do you have the day off today? Do you have the day off? Clay, come on over here and metal detect. See if you can find some gold. Gold. My buddy owns a shit ton more property around here. that you can metal detect on too. He told me if you want to do it, you can. It's another 100 acres over in Norwood. He basically bought the whole town of Union Point. You can go metal detect all those places. It's nice to be able to metal detect nobody fucking with you. You don't need to worry about the cops showing up or Georgia. In Georgia, Gene. Man, I mean, when I did a little metal, I'm too lazy to metal detect. Man, I dig up one tin can. That's it for me. I want diamond rings and gold coins and Civil War guns. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, he already told me. I already asked him. I said, I got a buddy of mine through YouTube fucks around with this metal detecting. He said, yeah, just tell him go wherever he wants. I'll give you his phone number if anybody says anything. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm too lazy to metal detect. Gene, where are you? Where are you located? Oh, okay. Yeah, good for you. Metal detect. That's cool. Hey, Clay, you ever find any? You ever run into any copperheads or timber rattlers out looking around for that shit? Good morning, Jeff. How you doing? It does look a little better, but when you go to render it and upload it, it's a fucking nightmare. It's not worth it. If it looked twice as good, I'd probably do it, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, Ohio. What part of Ohio, Gene? I like Ohio. I like all of Ohio except Cincinnati. Like the rest of it. Love Youngstown, Akron, Cleveland. Oh, Columbus. Love Columbus. I've been in and out of that airport a million times. They still got that underground mall there. That's where I had my first Cinnabon. I dated a girl for a while that lived in Guyana. Oh, I love Toledo. Spent a ton of time in Toledo. There's a guy that comes on here all the time. He's a beekeeper in Toledo. Oh, okay. Toledo's got a rich history. Really does. Oh, okay. I've got a hell of a collection from a famous minister, Bates, Samuel D. Bates. I turned down 45 grand for it 10 years ago. I was just looking at it yesterday. I've got all his diaries. He was a Civil War chaplain during the heat of the war. All sorts of letters from soldiers, just tons of shit. I was actually at one time was going to donate it to the state of Ohio, and those lazy fuckers never called me back after two messages. And actually, Samuel D. Bates was on the board of regents at Hillsdale College in Michigan. You know who's tied into Hillsdale College quite a bit is Pat Sajak. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Got you, Clay. 75K? No, it's an excellent collection. Samuel D. Bates, a huge collection. I've got all his diaries, all his letters, all his. It's a hell of a collection. And the reason why I have not sold it is because I didn't want to fuck with listing it. You just can't properly put a adequate description on eBay. I didn't want to send it to auction, and that's why I was going to donate it. But I don't need the tax break now like I did then. It's a hell of a collection. Samuel D. Bates. Yeah, that guy on here talking right now found something. The guy on here now was over here metal detecting. Clay, did you find anything directly linked to the Civil War or not really? Or just Civil War area? He's been over here twice metal detecting. Yeah. Sorry for this crappy camera view, but Uh, See my router there? That's an ass kicker router. He found things he found things, Civil War era. That toe tap found was Civil War era, okay. Now, right down the road here, Clay, you can look it up, I'll show it to you next time you come over here. There was a Confederate gun repair facility, a Confederate gun repair facility. Right down the road, there's a historical marker there. I'm sure that's been metal detected a billion times. Yeah. I don't far as I can tell. Hey, Clay, too. Remember you told me you saw the pond wasn't dug, and then you said it was? What years did you stay? Okay. What years did you say that pond info? Oh, I got tons of stuff on Samuel Bates. I've got just tons of stuff on him, man. I got a complete collection. Samuel D. Bates. That's when it was that's when it was dug between 55 and 63? Thank you. Okay. It wasn't there in 55 and it was there in 63, right? Okay, good. I'll remember that. Thank you. Oh, cool. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah. Boy, that's a lot older than I thought. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm too lazy to do it. Yeah, I figured you were full of shit. I'm surprised you could even spell Samuel Bates, to tell you the truth. Bye bye. Bye bye, Daniel. Bye bye. Have a good day. Yeah, 55 and 63. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. See, now we have this crazy heavy frost every morning, and it's all burned off now. As soon as the sun gets above the trees. Crazy. No, I've gotten so lazy about this stuff. I should list that collection. That's why I wanted to donate it, but I just am too lazy to like list it all, man. So there it sits in a big giant Tupperware container because I'm too lazy to sell it. Oh, a bottle dump. I can show you where there were privies too. Privies. If I were you, and this is just, guessing, I would go dig where I showed you that well. I think there were buildings back there. There had to have been building. Why would you have a well out in the middle of nowhere? And if you look around the property, you'll see places where there were barbed wire. I don't think there was any money associated with the two houses where the vultures stay. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, this is all just guessing. And I don't know why the pond would have been built back there that way, you know? Hey, speaking of jars, in one of these old houses, not the one you looked at, the other one, if you go in there, there's a bunch of old jars in there. You're welcome to have if you want. I was in there yesterday. I don't think they're super old, but there's a whole kitchen cabinet thing filled with them. Not the one you looked in, the other one that's right next to my driveway. Oh, okay. Gotcha. If you want those, I'll tell you where else there's some really good jars too. You know how you go back, you take the four-wheeler, just as you hit that woods, as you're leaving the cut grass, you'll see an old dump right there to the right. There's probably 10 jars, ball jars in good shape that I set aside. You can take those too if you want. Hey Ray, how you doing? And they're all like in good shape. If you're into glass, you're not just leaving there. Oh yeah, you can take those too if you want them. If you're into glass, if you're not, just leave them there. We don't give a fuck. You're the only guy really that's metal detected here besides me, and I didn't spend an hour doing it. So I do think it's like probably virgin territory. You know? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's really into that stuff. Really likes it. Yeah, when you're really into stuff. I've been into stuff like that before, but I'm not really into metal detecting too much. I don't give a shit about it. Callie, do you think you'd like metal detecting? Oh, Swiss made. Oh, see, now I would metal detect the shit out of that then. Yeah, I'd keep looking. I'd keep looking. I bet Callie'd like to metal detect. You get all excited about it. You got to be like diligent and dedicated, which is why I don't like it. I just, man, if like I said, if I don't find something, which is of course crazy thinking, it's hard work too, man. You start digging in this hard Georgia clay, you'll dig your ass off for a tin can. I mean, maybe Clay, you got your metal detector down better than mine. When that fucker buzzes, I'm digging. I can't really tell the difference between a gold coin and a fucking bottle cap. All the sound the same to me. Oh, Marty's a huge coin collector. He's a huge coin collector. Hey, John, how you doing today? How's it going? Hang on, let me just set this down for a second. I'm gonna fill my coffee up for the last time. I'm drinking 2 cups of coffee today instead of 1. Good girl, honey. You're a good girl, honey. Yeah, I'm definitely going to switch this around today. Actually, I like having it. I'm going to switch this around. Like, I like looking out the window, but not when I'm doing a live. I'm not doing it. Doesn't look that good. It does. It's an active live. Yeah, it's an active live, John. It should. It's up on the left. Do you guys see an active live, don't you? Yeah. Callie, you can come out here and Hunt some coins if you want, if you feel like it. You can bring a hubby with you. You guys can go hunt for coins. I mean, this is a cool place to visit, actually. If you like this kind of stuff, sweet beaches. Yeah, I never. It doesn't really interest me that much. Now, if somebody lost something and they wanted me to help them find it, I'd do it. But I don't. I'm not. I'm more interested in finding cool stuff than somebody's gold ring. I'd give it back to them if I found it. There was a lady that lost supposedly a big diamond ring on the golf course behind me in West Branch, and I went out and looked for it, and I couldn't find it. And the guy told me later he thought it was an insurance scam. I kind of tend to think that's true, unless somebody just got lucky and saw it shortly after she lost it. Oh, really? No, nobody's shooting guns around here. Oh, exercise. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, Asabo, yeah, that's a good river. They got a lot of problems there though with drunk people in the summertime. You go up north, you buy a property, it backs up to the Osabo, and all you do is have a bunch of drunken rednecks float down it, bombed, peeing all day long. They actually banned alcohol for a while, and then somehow they got it reversed. I'll tell you one thing that I can't figure out in Michigan, up around Traverse City, the Betsy River, that area. Somehow these property owners were able to get the state to not allow fishing guides who charged to float down those creeks and rivers. How did they do that? It's a public river, but a paid guide cannot float down some of those places now. Oh, were you, John? Oh, good morning. How you doing here? Girl you used to help. Which one? Oh, yeah, she's still out there. Becky. And you're talking about Gary. Far as I know, she's still out there. Gary's a good guy. I was thinking of calling him the other day, but I've just kind of got out of that. Little Betsy. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't so great this last year though. My buddy went up there. They didn't catch jack shit. The water was low, I think. He said they didn't do well at all, and that was after like 7 separate trips over a month period. It was terrible. I mean, personally, I don't think there should be any salmon in any of those places. Yeah, it was really honestly, Hereford, it was interesting. It was a genuine interest. I could have cared less about viral videos. I hope I never get another one again. I didn't know anything going into it, and if I did, I probably wouldn't have done it. I actually thought maybe I could help some of those people and give some insight as to just what that life entails, and what can I say, you know? Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about I would agree with that, John. And you look at the whole theory on the alewives and all that bullshit, it's just, here they're constantly warning you about non-indigenous species, and then look what they do to the Great Lakes. I'm telling you, that has something to do with yellow perch and whitefish not being around anymore. I promise you. Those salmon should not even be in the Great Lakes. I mean, God knows what it does. Another PhD. A lot of people, you ask people, the turkeys are from Mexico. Ringneck pheasants are from China. And most ringneck pheasant programs are managed. They don't do shit on their own. You've got to have food plots and farm differently, and all sorts of shit. Absolutely right, John. I agree with you 100%. I mean, just what I've read, and another thing too, what do you think of this, John? I've read studies about fish that are raised in hatcheries. You don't have the natural instinct to fear things. As a living organism, you're fed, and the pussy fish, the ones with bad genes, they're let loose where they would have been dead in the real world, and it just creates a false gene pool. So you got all these fish that were basically raised in aquariums being let go to just be eaten by anything that sees them. Oh, you don't like the Chinese pheasant, really? Yeah, but turkeys too. Those are managed programs too. I do see turkeys around here a lot. They shouldn't be here either. Non-indigenous species. But the real $50,000 question is, uh, no, thank you. Yeah, I believe that. But the real $50,000 question, John, is the whitefish and the yellow perch. What in the hell is going on there? Now, I do think there's an argument for the clear water because of the zebra mussels and that the fish see it coming more than they used to. I think that's believable. Oh, you think so, Ray? Commercial fishing? Not in Michigan, it doesn't. Those were all planted here. There were never salmon in Michigan until the government planted them. That may work that way out in Washington and Montana and those places. Actually, the rainbow trout is considered a salmon. So in that aspect, maybe, I'm not sure on that. But these steelhead and all this other bullshit, as it turns out, a steelhead, man, they'll eat anything, all of it. Oh, you think? Oh, really, John? That's interesting. Zebra mussels, yeah. Yeah, you talked to Native American fishermen up there, and are you sure those weren't Native Americans? Because I think all the commercial perch and whitefish, aren't those all Native Americans? Yeah, steelhead is a trout. That's right. Yeah, Lake Erie. Yep. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, all I know is it's fucked up. It's not like it used to be. Well, I mean, they're good. Lake trout are the best ones. They're perfect to broil because they're so oily. Oh, okay. But how about the yellow perch? So those were non-natives fishing for yellow perch? Oh, really, Mark? Why? Because it's dirty? Yeah, lake trout. Yeah, excellent fish. That's what you want to get a hold of, some lake trout. And if you look at the Native Americans up around Traverse City and stuff, that's pretty much mostly what they're selling now, lake trout. They're all over the place. It's an excellent fish to broil or cook outside on a grill. Really is. Yeah, lake trout. Yep. Hey, John, you ever go up on the Osabo up there in Grayling and fly fish for those? I think that's catch and release, isn't it? I don't think you can keep those. There's people from all over the world that go there to fish for those uh, browns. I think it's browns up there in Grayling, isn't it? Beautiful river. I mean, if you look at the criteria for trout, fast, cool, moving, clear water, it just looks like paradise. I guess fly fishing's an art. That's what I've read. Like laying the line down, not scaring the fish. You just asked me as I opened my chunk white albacore tuna. Catch and release. But you couldn't keep them if you wanted to, could you, John? You got to let them go, don't you? Oh, wow. No kidding. That's that bad, huh? Mark, are you going to Italy or not? Oh, mandatory. Gotcha. Okay. John, would you consider fly fishing an art? Would you consider it an art? Oh, no shit, huh? Wow. I put my GoPro under there looking for them. I sure did. Yeah, sturgeon. I know that's a biggie. They've sunk a bunch of junk so they could lay eggs down the Detroit River. God, if a sturgeon can live there, it can live anywhere. You know, it's the damn Canadians that are putting most of that pollution in the St. Mary's River that's trickling down to Detroit. And that steel companies across from Port Huron. Those fuckers are always getting caught dumping toxic shit in the water. The hell's wrong with you Canadians, Mark? Motherfuckers. Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. The one that got away. You got any of those stories, John? Oh, okay, Larry. Oh, you eat what you catch. Okay. Well, good for you. Good. Yeah, I don't fish either. Oh, I did that before. Yeah, I did it. I had a good time. Yeah, muskies in Lake St. Clair. Oh, it is. They're cool looking though, alligator muskies. They're cool looking. I'd like to caught one. Hey, in Michigan, is anybody ice fishing now? Have you had enough cold weather where you can go out there and drill a big hole and catch fish on the ice? I like how it looks when you look through the hole. I think it looks cool. Looks like a TV screen. I think they're cool looking. I think they look like a dinosaur. Looks like a dinosaur fish. I thought you were going, Mark. You decide not to? I think traveling now is a pain in the fucking ass. I can't imagine the bullshit you'd need to go through to go to Italy. Packing all your shit, getting all your stuff torn apart. I couldn't believe it. When I went down to Florida and came back, in the old days, they didn't want any electronic devices on. Actually, the FAA went after people and charged them for uploading videos on YouTube with their cell phones. And now I listened to the announcement when I got on that airplane, and it said no electronic devices are allowed to transmit. Well, my GoPro doesn't transmit, so I thought, well, I'll just keep videoing unless this flight attendant says something. She was right next to me, and she saw me doing it, never said a word. And so I filmed the whole thing, which was fun because it doesn't transmit. I didn't have any GPS uh, on it, or it was just the camera recording. They didn't do shit. It was fun, man. I watched those videos. I love those videos. Love watching, up at altitude flying. That was supposed to be a rough flight, and it never really happened. They didn't serve any drinks or peanuts or any of that shit. So they were afraid they were going to hit rough air. And they stayed low, 30,000 feet. God knows how much extra fuel they burned. That was a 757-300. I'd never been on one of those. Three rows of seats. Just jammed with people. It's crazy technology. Jam all these people on there, and you sit in the seat and you watch movies. Now you can push a thing on your screen where you can watch how the plane's flying. How fast it's going. It's flight aware, which isn't the same as what the pilot's seeing, but it's better than nothing. It's kind of fun. I liked it. I don't think I'd eat anything out of Lake Erie. I mean, that's the redheaded stepchild of the Great Lakes. You know, they get that algae, toxic algae blooms, and there's so much like uh, waste that drains into that. It's better than it used to be, but it's still a shadow, dumpy lake, dirty looking. Even as a kid, when I go down to Cedar Point, I wondered why people would swim in that thing. Probably get AIDS. No, I didn't. But you know, I was in my seat looking out, so I didn't really look either. I did not. Nope. Sharon, how you doing? I did not. Nope. Callie, would hubby let you metal detect for some coins, or you don't feel like doing that anymore? Do you think you guys could come out and you could go around? You could use my metal detector. See, you didn't need to take yours. I got a good one, a Garrett. Yeah, it's nasty lake. I know it. You guys can go out and just have a little vacation. Be fun. Go someplace new where it doesn't cost you $400 a night. You know, that's another thing now. Hotels are expensive anywhere you go. It's nuts, man, what they get for a hotel. It's crazy. I think they all got together and price fixed. Yeah, it's true. Lake Huron's my favorite lake. Love that lake. Nobody there. I mean, Michigan's cool too, and Superior is really neat. Highest that ever gets about 58 degrees. You'd die of hypothermia even in the summer. Remember, anything lower than 98.6, you lose heat. You will slowly freeze to death. Mark, you got to be getting some pretty cold temperatures up there. It's 45 degrees here right now. 45 degrees. That's not bad. Yeah, I say it's not too bad. It's a lot better not looking out that window. Better than nothing. That's what my dad used to say when they asked how my mother was doing. He'd say, better than nothing. I guess the love wore off. Oh, 24? That's not bad. New Hampshire, huh? Steven, you ever go up to the Ben and Jerry things in Vermont? Oh, wow, 7. That's cold. Oh, wow, 10. New Hampshire, the White Mountains, the highest clocked winds ever. The White Mountains, White Mountain Range, like 130 or some crazy shit. I'd like to put my ex-wife and her boyfriend up there and douse them with water. Just watch them freeze to death like icicles. Yeah, White Mountains. Yeah, that's it. You ever get up there and look around? Do you even have access to that? Oh, can you get up there where those ass kicker winds are in the winter? Is it uh, possible to like go up there and experience that? I sure like it. I'd love to be in a blizzard up there. Oh, no kidding, hot tub. You know, that makes your blood pressure get low. You get in fat, out of shade smokers, they can't get out. There's lots of people that drowned in their hot tubs. Their blood pressure gets low. I would love to see that, to be honest with you. I would like it. You know, I'd love to look around there. And I'd like to be up there in the winter in one of those ass kicker storms. I'd like to be in Truckee, California too during a blizzard. I'd like to be anywhere during a blizzard. It wasn't one last week. A Georgia blizzard. Shit. There were cars wrecked all over. But you got to give me a little more than 2.5 to 3 inches. I want a legit blizzard. Like where there's just Teslas all over. I sent Marty a text. He's still down in Florida. I said, hey, you better keep renting that Suburban. Don't try to drive that Tesla next week. You'll be walking, fucker. That charger they give you, that trickle charger to take home with you, is not worth a fuck in the cold weather. You won't have enough juice to run a vibrator, much less drive a Tesla. Battery-powered cars in cold weather. Fuck. What are these wackos thinking? Nuts. Yeah, I'd love to go up there. Go up there and party. Have a good time. I would have fun. Tell you that. I sure would. I love cold, like secluded places. I was up in Waterton Park one night, the Canadian side of Glacier National Park. We got like 20 inches of snow. I stayed in this thing. You'd swear you were in Switzerland. It's just beautiful. I was just partying, reading a good book about some like expedition in the winter by myself. Got some good whiskey I was sipping. Slept in. Hear the snow crunch under your feet. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great memory. Sure was. Better believe it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I know I miss those days. Better believe it. Yeah. That place is still in business, Fair Villa. I don't think I didn't think about it driving down through there. It's the biggest 3 stories of porn. Fairville in Florida. Man, I went in there and thought I was going to faint. Oh, yeah. There's a couple and a baby died right before I left West Branch. Got lost and got high and froze to death. When you start to freeze to death, your body tricks itself and it makes your brain say to you that you're hot. That's why they find people nude that are frozen stiff as a board. When you really start to die, you think you're hot and you take off all your clothes. Oh, big time. You're fucked on those. Yeah. You start to take off your clothes when you're freezing to death. Why not? It's tits up. You read these stories. It happens all the time. Find people nude. It's like, well, why would you be nude when it's cold out? That's why. It's like anaphylactic shock. The body's not perfect. It does some weird shit. And that's an example. Wow. New Year's, no kidding, huh? Fucking A. Well, if you were in your 20s and you just started dating someone new, I wouldn't care if I ran out of gas. I'd keep the interior of that car warmed up till the cops showed up. It's where you're 65 and you've been married to the same woman 35 years, is what would worry me. I'd probably be dead in an hour. Oh, that'd be fun, Stephen. That'd be great, huh? I think it'd be a good time. Sunny and dry out today. When I got this house built, I wanted a humidifier put on the furnace. And I think they did it. I'm you got to climb up to 15 foot tall in the garage for this, where the furnace part is. And I'm not doing it. And I got too much shit in the way to roll my scaffolding out there. But I think they put it on there. Because I noticed when I spent one night in the old house, that my skin got drier than hell. And over here, it's not dry like that. And I think it's because the air is being humidified. I can't say that for sure, but I think so. Just partying, man. Who wants dry skin? Actually, I think I'm going to move my weightlifting equipment into the living room next week. It's going to be too cold to work out in those houses, and I don't want to miss a week. No, I don't. It's crazy. Metal detected. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to wait till Clay comes and metal detects them, or I'll go put a bunch of bottle caps out there, drive them crazy. Oh, that'd be way. I like that. I like all that. I love all that winter stuff. Actually, I looked for airports where you can just get a good view in a blizzard, but there are not really that many of them. I've stayed at Detroit before, but you can't see the planes taking off and landing. You can just see them putting luggage in and all that kind of shit. Yeah, that's right, Clay. Yeah, which was cool, but I'd rather see them taking off and landing. There just really aren't that many good places with a kick-ass view. They're too far away from the runway. The property's too expensive. It's you want taxiways and all that shit, not hotels. I would love Manchester, New Hampshire. You're right. Sure would. Love to do it. Maybe when I get my new, start dating my new girlfriend, we can go there. Oh, can you really? But that's not a very busy airport, I wouldn't think. Stephen, that's not too busy, I don't think, is it? That's the problem. There are places like this. Barrow, was it Barrow? Yeah, Barrow, Alaska. They've changed the name back to some Indian name, Inuit name. But you could see there, the problem is one plane landed a day. I want busy. Oh, it is busy. I'm going to have to check that out. I always look at these blogs and these plane watchers. I wonder why that's never been mentioned. I would check it out. I'd go up there and stay there if that's true. Like when I know it was going to be busy. Oh, that would be great. That'd be so fun. Yeah, just sit out the window and just look at planes. No, I haven't had a drink since April, and I'm not saying I'll never drink again, but I think on a special occasion like that, I would I would get a good bottle of scotch. Yeah, I will do that. Thank you. Never heard of that. Never ever saw that anywhere. I've never even seen a video uploaded of Manchester planes taking off and landing. Oh yeah, those are good planes too. Yeah, no, I swear to God, I'll buy you some dragon's milk for telling me about this. Sure will. Oh, fucking A, man. I will do it. I'll look that right up on my phone right now. Got me excited. See, I follow through on things that are like legit. I just had an old flame contact me. I called her, she didn't call me back. And I texted her and she didn't text me back. And I thought, well, that's the end of those blowjobs. Well, she just texted me and said she's been really sick. Oh, yeah. Oh, Marty called me too. Hang on a second. I call Marty back. These blowjobs aren't over yet. What up, man? What you doing? Nothing. Did you get that text I sent you at 5:30 in the morning? Yeah. It's going to be super cold here next week. Yeah, I didn't. Kenny will be glad to hear. When is he coming in Monday? Yeah, it'll be Sunday night, so Monday morning. Oh well, I'll be home Monday morning. I mean, I'll be home Sunday morning. Yeah, but I'm just telling you, man, I would be very skeptical of that Tesla. Oh, I'm Tom. Stan. I'm never driving the Tesla again. Gotcha. Yeah. Hey, catch me that motherfucker ever again. Where are you now? Drive my grandson. Where are you? I'm in Florida. I said the only time I'll ever get Yeah, I don't blame you. No. Anybody that has a Tesla next week, even in Georgia, is going to wish they didn't.
Fuck that noise.
Hey, are you having a good time down there?
I'm actually headed to Hilton Head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to hang out with KB for a little while, see if we can fix her fucking mind.
Yeah, good luck.
Nah, I'm not even gonna try. I'm just going there to take care of some stuff that I need out of my room and check on her. But Tom, I'm 62. I can't fix that motherfucker.
No, it's good you realize that.
Yeah, I ain't stupid.
Yeah. I got everything under control here. Vulture's getting fed, everything.
I get it, man.
Daisy crawled up right next to I woke up this morning, she was right in my face.
You're lying.
No, she'll do that once in a while. And yesterday I was at the desk doing some things, and she wanted up on my lap.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do when we move, or if we move, because I don't know what Kelly's gonna do anyway. I ain't sure.
You mean like with Daisy?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, I'll just take over. It's no problem.
I know, but I enjoy her too, Tom.
Yeah, she's a great. I'm telling you, man. She is a great dog.
She's one of the best, and I love it. But I'm just saying. I mean, I may come and get her for 2 or 3 days at a time.
No,
If you don't care.
no, I wish you'd do it for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd never thought. This goes to show you, man. You think these dogs and Daisy came from a shitty environment, and we bonded and all that shit, and she'll never go with anybody else. Fuck. That was until she met you.
Yeah, she'll go anywhere with me.
Yeah, and I could do the same thing with Lola and Remy.
Absolutely.
That's a Disney story, this dog loyalty. Whoever's got the biggest bag of treats wins. Well, they had to sue the producers of Oh Yeller for fraud.
Yeah, for fraud. I love it, man.
Hey, what? Have a good time.
All right, look, if you need me for something, call me, man. But I'm rolling. I'm headed up the turnpike.
Party on.
Later, bro.
Bye. That was Marty. He said he will never drive that fucking Tesla again. He will never drive the Tesla again. He's done with it. Yeah. He's in Florida on his way to Hilton Head. He hasn't been over to his Hilton Head house in 3 months. Yeah, he's leaving Florida. He got $47,000 for the Charger and $41,000 for that Ghetto Blaster van. And he's rented a new Suburban from a buddy of his. And these rich guys, it's another world. I could tell Marty right now, hey, I want to go down to Florida and fuck around for a few days. And he's got a 911 Turbo. Beautiful. It's only got like 21,000 miles on it. Whale tail. He would say, well, go get an Uber, call one of my relatives, or I'll send somebody from one of my plants to come pick you up. And the keys are here and there and take it. These guys could care less about losing money, making money. Cars are just fun. I don't know if he lost or made money on these cars. He doesn't care. Neither do his buddies. It's weird. Crazy. But I had my I had my ringer off and I didn't know he called. And it looks like my blowjobs are not over either, which is really great news. I was worried. Said she's been really sick. I hate this fucking Google message app so bad. No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to look that out right now. Why am I getting a fucking Spanish ad in this fucking thing? I couldn't hate an app. I'm getting Mexican ads now. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Hold on. Ah, fuck yeah. This is a good day. Fuck yeah. Yeah, there's a live stream. You guys still hear me? I didn't like that van. I don't like it. I really don't. Oh, this little girl's in the hospital. You know, all these women I've been involved in the last 10 years don't have any money. So I just texted her, do you need anything? I bet she needs some money for like shit while she's in the hospital, which I don't mind sending her. I mean, this girl's a beast. Worth every fucking dime. Okay, I got to turn my ringer on too. That could have been her on her way down here. No, this is a YouTube chat. I don't do. I'm not doing StreamYard anymore. Like, there's no link for this. It's only YouTube. I didn't renew my StreamYard, though I might because Stephanie wants it. Here, let me look at this Manchester airport. Airport, New Hampshire. Oh, wow, regional airport. Arrivals and departures. Wow. Now, what lodging would you say? Where would you say is a good place to stay at that Manchester airport? What hotel? I will. Where would you say is a good place to stay at that Manchester hotel with a good view? Yeah, I definitely want to go up there. Definitely do. Let me look at lodging. I don't care how much it costs either for a good view. Just go up there and party. Find out which hotel with the airplane view, will you? This place is cheap too. My God. Airport hotel. The Britannia. Let me look. Plane watching in Manchester, New Hampshire. Yeah, I will definitely go up there. This is interesting. I will come up there. I'm going to go off the wagon. Plane watching. Britannia. Oh, good. Thank you for telling me this. Yeah. Largest cargo airport in New England. God, I never knew. How did I not know this? Yeah, FedEx, DHL. This is good, man. All freighters, too. I'd rather watch them. They're bigger airplanes. I don't want to see all these little bullshit. Oh, and I see them. And also Southwest American United runway. And they only have 2 runways, really? No, I'm definitely going to do this. No, I'm going to really check this out. God, it shows great photos of planes. Yeah, thanks for telling me that. Thank you. I will definitely follow up on it. Yeah, good. Well, you guys, I think I'm going to sign off here, try and get my half hour's worth of work done today. So I hope you guys have a good day. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you. I'm going to switch this around so I don't get broiled by the sun every morning as the sun comes up. Mark, you going to do a live later tonight? Oh, yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah. No, it'd be fun. Sure would. Clay, you have a good day today. Stephen, thank you. Mark, you party on. Jeff, you have a good day today. John, rock on. And my blowjobs have not come to an end. All right, Frisky. Callie, if you're still out there, Ray, you have a good day. Go take a stroll down the Magnificent Mile. Give me a report, update, what's going on down there. See any working girls? Go check out that bridge, too. I guess that's opening up in the fall of 2025. Oh, you hope I do my StreamYard? Yeah, well, I will then. Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I probably will. You guys have a good day today. Frisky, you party on. And we will party later.